What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about what is easily the most difficult and rarest reward inside of DMZ, a new buy station on Koschei Complex, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts on the brand new barter system which got added here in Season 3? Do you feel like it's a bit too tedious, or is there too much RNG involved with crafting certain items on specific DMZ maps? Let me know how you're feeling about this, because barter is a very big component here of what we're going to be talking about in tonight's video. So over on Koschei Complex, when heading into the factory admin building, which is of course building A1 or A2, you'll come across two different buy stations. There's obviously an arrow on the wall pointing you in the right direction of where these shops are. They're both in the same room. If you don't know how to access factory admin, I covered all of that in a previous video, focusing on the weapon cases, since you need to come into the factory admin to fight the two bosses. It just involves you finding a factory admin key in the chemical plants area and walking up to doors A1 or A2. There's two entrances to this area. So when in front of these two buy stations now in factory admin, you'll notice one of them is a standard buy station, allowing you to sell items, barter, pick up gear, whatever the case is. The other buy station is a secure one, which is locked until you bring the shopkeeper 3 specific items. These 3 items are different in every match that you play, and you'll know which items you need to open the buy station when reading the notes that are located in this room as well. All these items are exclusive to Koschei Complex. You cannot find them on other DMZ maps. I don't believe you can even find any of the items on Mazrah before spawning into Koschei Complex. So again, for all the bunker entrances that you can actually go through for Koschei Complex, those will be the prime locations where you'll see some of the items that you need here to open this secure buy station. But of course, after accessing Koschei Complex through one of the 4 entrances, after going through a certain challenge or puzzle to then get to the chemical plant, that's when you start experiencing PvP. Real people could be in that location, so be very wary of exactly where other real people could be. If you have prox chat on, if you have a good headset, be very careful with real people that could be located over in this area, especially going to factory admin to fight some of those bosses for what could be a weapon case quest. So this is one challenge in and of itself, just opening the secure buy station located in factory admin. There's also other items at the secure buy station like grenade launchers, shields, advanced UAVs, which you obviously can't use advanced UAVs on this map, but you could obviously take that to a different DMZ map. You could even buy dual Kadachis. So the secure buy station is pretty cool, featuring items that are never featured at some of the regular buy stations on our other exclusion zones. So it's cool to just access this station on its own. But when you actually do access this buy station, you will see 3 exclusive rewards that you can actually craft using rare items that are found in Koschei Complex or even other DMZ maps. The first item we're going to be talking about here, which is the focus of this video, is the valuable Gunscreen. You won't actually believe how rigorous the quest is in actually obtaining this, but the Gunscreen does match the exclusive Heated Madness blueprint that you can build here on Koschei Complex. The screen will show you the total value of what's in your inventory in that specific match. In order to obtain the valuable Gunscreen, you need to collect 3 map-specific items, which you can only get through the barter system. So we're talking a quest in a quest within a quest. It's that crazy. So the first item you need is a gold fist, which you can only craft on Ashika Island by finding 3 specific items on that map. The first item is the Ashika Kitsune original mask, which can only be found in the drifting bag located in the top right corner of the D2 section here in Ashika Island. You need a special key to actually open that bag, which you could find through randomly looting. I know it's also a part of a faction mission, or you can just use a skeleton key, thankfully, which I would highly recommend if you guys were lucky enough to have crafted one of those on any of the DMZ maps. You can take it over to this bag and boom, you can go ahead and collect the original Kitsune mask. Now, in random loot chests on this map, you'll also often come across a replica Kitsune mask, which will not work to craft a golden fish. But when it comes to the original Kitsune mask, it's a fairly valuable item that I would say is one of the rarest ones in DMZ. So upon collecting that, definitely defend that with your life. The next item is a dog bank, which you can also find through randomly looting. I've heard a lot of reports that you can find one at a town center, different strongholds, random duffel bags. I know I found one right off spawn with my buddy Perka, right when we spawned in on Ashika Island. I know I found one in a duffel bag right out the spawn here in Ashika Island. So again, you're relying a lot on RNG to find some of these items. Not all of them have a key that you can actually use to then go access that item through a duffel bag in the water or a certain door. Some of the items work like that, but certainly not all of them. The next item is a cat statue. Again, randomly found around Ashika Island. I know I found one over here at the power plant. We've seen some near the marketplace or even the Aganaku farms. I wish there were more videos that were helpful in finding some of these items, but again, there's a lot of luck involved in collecting a dog bank or a cat statue or some other items we're going to be talking about later in this video. It's just up to pure luck, and that's what DMZ is all about, is of course looting and extracting. So that's why there's so much RNG involved here. It would have been better if some of these items had specific spawn points, because then it's a bit more fun, where you know you can be guaranteed certain spawn points for the items you need, and it's all about fighting other real players or AI to go ahead and get those items. But no, there's a lot of luck involved in actually coming across them in a regular playthrough. Now, it's even possible to come across some of these items in random players' bags, right? You might kill a team that just happens happens to have gone for some of these items. Maybe they had it for a reason, or they just happen to find it and just picked it up for no reason, and you could just rob them of that. So there's always a possibility that if you kill somebody, they might have what you're looking for. Now keep in mind, you don't need a secure bag for anything that we're talking about in this video, but they always come in clutch, and you're gonna see why in a little bit. But upon finding those 3 items, go to a buy station and you can barter the goldfish here for Ashika Island. Upon extracting, you can then unequip this item at the main menu, and it'll stow as a mission item. That's helpful so that if you go into another match right afterwards, you're not taking a risk of accidentally losing that item if another squad does wipe you. Now the same rules do apply if you happen to not come across some of the items in one match. Maybe you find the Kitsune mask and a dog bank but not the cat statue. You can go on an exfil and unequip those items at the menu, and they'll stow as mission items, which is helpful. But if you have a secure bag, it'll just stow regardless. You don't have to worry about either way. So there's multiple ways you can secure these items if you have to go into a different match of Ashika to find the other things that you need. Now the second thing you need to get a valuable gun screen on Koschei Complex is a Bunker 11 keycard, which you can only craft on building 21. So yes, that means you need to wait for the map to be active before you can go obtain this item, and the map is only active from Fridays to Monday mornings. So yes, Bunker 11 is also the same bunker that we came across in Verdansk when the first Easter egg we ever saw in Warzone did get added in. Maybe they're going to be bringing Verdansk back in some way, shape, or form through a Spec Ops mission or a DMZ experience, and we'll end up seeing Bunker 11 again. Who knows what this is a teaser for? Maybe building 21 is somewhere nearby, but a Bunker 11 keycard can only be bartered by collecting and then redeeming 4 colored keycards: a blue one, red, green, and even a black. But there's a catch here. You can only use these keycards if they are in pristine condition. They cannot be used or worn colored keycards, which are the most common ones that all of us probably have. So if you guys thought that you were lucky here because you maybe already have each colored keycard in your inventory and you thought that you could just hop into building 21 and craft the Bunker 11 card, check again and think again, because you might not have pristine condition colored keycards, which are very difficult to come across. I didn't know this was even a thing until Season 3 Reloaded did release, in which I discovered that all my colored keycards are either used or worn. Now you can obviously get green keycards guaranteed from looting some of the safes that are here on building 21. You can also get guaranteed black keycards from killing Velikan or even the Wilson boss, but the problem is that there's a high chance those keycards that you get from doing those tasks are going to be used or worn. There's always a chance though that they're not and they are in pristine condition, but it's of course all up to RNG. You can also randomly loot blue and red access cards from killing AI. You can find them in supply drops on other DMZ maps. They can be found on shelves or in random environments on Mazrah or Ashika Island. You'll come across them in random situations, or you can even loot them out of people's bag if you kill somebody with one, but there's never a guarantee it's going to be pristine, used, or worn. It's all luck based. Now the problem with that is that let's say you have pristine condition blue and black cards but not red or green ones, you're hoping for not only the ability to then find those colored key cards through random events, but also hoping that those are going to be in pristine condition. That's a lot of RNG to ask for. Now I'm also aware that some faction mission rewards do grant you with colored key cards. I'm not exactly sure if those are going to be pristine condition key cards. Let me know in the comments if you guys know the answer to that, but it'll have been unfortunate if you guys maybe did faction missions a while ago, got pristine condition key cards and used them in matches of building 21, not knowing that they would be useful later. Now in my opinion, the requirement should just be to redeem one of each colored key card to then get a Bunker 11 one. It's an extra layer of RNG that isn't really fair, especially considering building 21 is only accessible from Fridays to Mondays. So they should just make it to where if you have one of each color, you can get that Bunker 11 card. But requiring pristine condition ones, that's a very difficult task in and of itself that I don't think people out there in the community are going to be too fond of. But now the final thing you need to get that valuable gun screen is the console dev kit from Mazrah. This one really isn't that bad. It requires 3 game consoles, which of course you can come across in random buildings through random looting. Those aren't too bad to find. The next thing is 2 nuclear fuel rods. So if you do nuclear contracts around the map, you'll find some rods when you use the Geiger counter to see where you have to go. You'll see a rod in each of those locations, and boom, you can stow those in your backpack and go from there. The next item you need is a golden skull of Bagra miner. Now, this is also one of the most rare and valuable rewards inside of DMZ, like the original Kitsune mask, and you do need a sunken ship's thief's cash key, which you could find in the post office secure room. So you need a key and a key to actually go ahead and come across the golden skull of Bagra. But if you guys are watching this video and you guys have skeleton keys, then yes, you are in luck. You use a skeleton key to grab this item instead. You want to go find the busted hole here in the ship, as you can see here on the map, and inside the ship you will see a bag right there, and inside the bag will be a very valuable golden skull. Again, one of the craziest items and one of the most expensive items you can come across in Mazrah. So if you guys do want to use a secure bag to grab the items that you have and exfil and go into another match and bring those back in, you could of course do that unless you're lucky enough to find everything you need in a single match. You can go ahead and craft that at the barter station, and then boom, you have everything you need here to collect a valuable gun screen on Koschei Complex. Now something else I noticed upon exfilling with some of these exclusive and important items is that everybody on my squad ended up getting those items items in their inventories as well, even though they didn't have the items when we exfil. Not sure if that's intentional because they're important mission items, so it just duplicates them for our entire squad in the case that we hop into another match and accidentally lose it, or if it's a glitch where for some reason it's duplicating this for every person so that it increases our chances of being able to then use those items later to craft what we actually need at the barter station. So once you've crafted the golden fish on Ashika, obtained the bunker 11 keycard on building 21, and grabbed a console dev kit from Mazrah, you can now go into Koschei complex and hopefully have decent enough RNG in finding the items that are needed there to access the secure buy station. From there you can buy what is easily the most difficult item to obtain in what could be the entire Call of Duty franchise. That is the valuable Gunscreen. Wouldn't even recommend going for this until you have some decent map knowledge for Koschei complex, because the map could get confusing. It could be a bit of a maze. There's a lot that goes into how to actually access the map itself, you know, what areas you can go to at certain points in the match, where you're going to experience PvP action, what rooms contain the worst AI and some tough bosses. A lot you need to know going into this map, as I covered in previous videos, of course. Those will also link down below in this video's description. Now again, the formula to actually access a secure buy station will change in every match, but hey, maybe if you come across a lot of those items in other matches and you have a secure backpack, just pick those items up and stow them for later, because you never know if the formula is going to require those items in a future match. That's a strategy right there. But with that, there's also 2 other rewards that you can unlock at this secure buy station that aren't as difficult to craft as the valuable Gunscreen is. One of them is a cash bag animated emblem, requiring you to find an employee notebook, server tape silver, a delta board, and acetic acid. Of course, these items can only be found in Koschei complex, and you can find some of these items in any one of the bunker entrances, but obviously some of the more computer related parts can be found near the data center and some of the server rooms, whereas some of the other components and pieces of material can be found in the alpha cluster section of the map, which is kind of nearby the server room anyway. So if you're looking for some of these specific items and you just can't come across them, try to just exfil or secure bag some of these items and bring them in next time. That's always a strategy right there. But then there's the Reigning Glory calling card, requiring scientist notes, server tape red, an alpha board, and then liquid nitrogen. Again, these items cannot be found in Mazrah, Ashika Island, or Building 21. They can only be found in Koschei complex. Now I'm totally on board with having exclusive rewards inside of any DMZ map that require the use of the barter system if the items that you need to barter are ones that have guaranteed spawns and it's not purely based on RNG. That could be frustrating. And I also think more people would be motivated to go for some of these buildables if they knew that there were guaranteed ways to get some of the items. This is certainly something catered towards some of the hardcores that wanted a tough quest to do inside of DMZ. I can't really see many casuals going for some of these items unless they watch a bunch of content on it or have extensive map knowledge on Koschei complex or the other DMZ exclusion zones. In that case, they wouldn't be really labeled a casual anyway. So this is definitely something that I'm sure might get nerfed at some point in the future in terms of what the requirements are to craft some of these items. We'll have to wait and see, unless they end up buffing the spawns of some of the items that you need to craft some of these collectibles. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on what is easily the most difficult and rare reward to unlock inside of DMZ? How are you feeling about the secure buy station, everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.